There he is, the boss dog, as we're off to get our daily exercise. Watching the world burn, September 18th, 2024. The first thing I wanted to talk about was free speech for just a minute. We've been kind of harping on this, and I was going through the latest Tucker Carlson video, and he was speaking, once again before a crowd in Wisconsin, and I wanted to get his comments on the Trump assassination attempt. And instead, I came across his lecture on disinformation. Disinformation. You realize there's no such thing as disinformation. Anybody who says they want to protect you from disinformation is a liar. It means that they're lying and they don't want to get caught. That's why I was telling you that the banning of RT, Russian television, all they're doing is cutting you off from another source of information. Now, whether you want to believe everything on RT or not, are you going to believe everything on Sky News? Are you going to believe everything on CNN? And no. You go to multiple sources and do the best that you can. Let's watch that Tucker Carlson video on disinformation.
So I would say, hone your spidey senses these next 6 weeks, because you're gonna be lied to at a volume with a level of aggression you've never seen before. And the command will always be the same. Ignore what's right in front of your face. You didn't see that, that's not real. You're crazy. That's really the message, you're crazy. You can only trust us. The rest is disinformation. Okay. First of all, anyone who uses the phrase disinformation is a liar. Period. We're done. Disinformation is not a category. There's only one category, truth or falsehood. That's it. Disinformation is another way of saying you're saying something that's inconvenient to me. You are criticizing me. I don't like what you're saying. Shut up or go to jail. That's not a valid category. That's totalitarianism. That's tyranny. So anyone who uses the word disinformation is immediately on the liar's side. Don't listen to another word. That person is your enemy. Listen only to people who care about the only thing that is worth caring about, which is it true or not? Is it actually true? And the people who care about whether it's true are your guides through a dark time, and they're your only guides, and they're not many of them.
All right, so that's really, I can't say no more than that. So we're gonna get off of free speech. We'll get into the next topic here, because this is a video from Douglas McGregor, and boy, I tell you, he's been coming out with some really bold statements and stuff coming from him. And he's predicting regional war now in the Middle East. And, I can see that. I can see it. And I don't want to put words in his mouth. You just have to watch his video. Let's watch that now.
Because the situation in Israel grows worse with each passing day. Their economy is very much dependent on the largesse of the American people. And that's not a good position for any state to be in. They've had at least 500,000, some people say as many as 800,000 or a million Israelis leave the country. The country itself is in turmoil. As you know, they've got almost anarchy on some occasions because people want an end to the Netanyahu leadership. I don't know that they want an end to everything, but certainly him. So I would say that right now, you're going to get a war. That's going to happen unless we're the decisive actor in this equation, step forward and say no. And again, this has always been what we've argued, that historically every president until Biden has always stepped forward and urged restraint or directly told the leadership of Israel to stop this far and no further. There's no danger of that happening now. So the armed forces of the United States, its air and naval power, its intelligence services, its space-based surveillance, these things are at the disposal of Mr. Netanyahu, and he would like to use them. But he's trying to figure out how to provoke the Iranians into doing it on the assumption that everyone will believe that it was an unprovoked attack, the sort of same nonsense that we continue to preach about the Russian unprovoked attack, when everybody with a brain knows that we've been provoking the Russians for years. we finally got what we wanted.
All right, so that was Doug McGregor. And you saw what he said there at the end about he felt like it was going to be regional war. So then what happened? What happened? It's the biggest story in news right now, or it should be, I don't know, other than the Trump assassination attempt. Right. Although that'll get hushed, I can tell you that in a hurry. The media are not going to go on about the Trump assassination attempt. But I wanted to talk about these pagers that just blew up in Lebanon and what that was all about. That was a pet explosive that's used in det cord in the military. That's what I used when I was a combat engineer in the Marine Corps. It's a very, very high explosive, and so far the only details I've been able to get on it was that it was injected into the batteries 5 months ago. And let's see, what was the other detail? Yeah, the other detail I had it was 20 grams. Now, the part that I haven't gotten the information on is how did they set them all off all at the same time? I assume that maybe they had some code where a number was sent to all those pagers and it blew up all the pagers at the same time, which having the explosive injected into the batteries, how do you rig the pager to go, when you send a signal to it, to blow up those batteries? I don't know. I don't understand the technology behind it, but I'm just telling you what I know so far. So 1,200 people. This is a terrorist act. You understand that? 1,200 people were injured. I don't know how many were killed. One young girl was brutally hit. I mean, you got to remember, some of these people were driving cars. The explosive goes off, they lose control of the car. Speaking of losing control, on my way here, I pull out the community, and I'm making a right, and this pickup truck, it had just gone by, and so I was coming in behind him. All of a sudden, the pickup truck loses control. There's nothing around him, nothing, no animal ran in front of it or nothing. I guess they were just talking on the phone or whatever. They went all the way over into the center of the median. And I thought for sure that truck was going to flip. I mean, dirt and grass were flying everywhere. And I'm just watching this in horror going, holy shit. And anyway, he somehow got control of the vehicle back and he got it back up on the road. And I'm just like looking at it and I was going, did I have something to do with that? Because it was damn close to me. And I was thinking, no, I don't see how anything. And he just kept on going, just like nothing happened. I mean, I would scare the bejeebies out of me. It scared me. I was behind him watching the thing. But anyway, what I'm saying is all these people, a lot of them civilians, and also as people in Syria as well as Lebanon. So when you watched that video from Douglas McGregor, and he's talking about a regional war, what do you think that Lebanon thinks now? All those Hezbollah people that are part of the government of Lebanon, some of them. Okay, some of them are dead, 1,200 people injured. You think Lebanon is not ready to go to war with Israel? I mean, are you kidding me? So I believe Douglas McGregor, we are going to have a regional war. And the Democrats will be at complete fault for that. So, and then of course, Edward Snowden, I'll read you some of his comments. He chimed in on the whole thing. And anyway, that was it. Another video I was going to show you was Christopher Como. I mean, the guy that told everybody if you didn't get the shot, you were killing your neighbors and, all of that stuff that he put out and that everybody should be locked up who didn't get the jab, so to speak. Yeah, I don't like that guy, but I tell you what, he put out a hell of a comment on about the assassination attempt of Trump, and I tell you what, I was going right along. I mean, it was a hell of a statement. Now I'm going to post that statement on my X account. I can't put it in this video because unfortunately they put it to music, and every time I do anything with music, YouTube copyrights it, and I can't, I don't understand it. And so I don't know why they always put this stuff to music. I went and tried to find where he might have said it without the music, and I couldn't find it. You can only spend so much time on this stuff. So anyway, I can't show you that video. The next one was Jill Stein. I keep promoting her. I really, really like her. I wish that she had a chance of winning. And like I said, if Trump wasn't there, of course I'd be voting for her. You know, no other Republican would get my vote, you know, that I can think of. I'm trying, well, maybe if Tulsi Gabbard were running or Robert Kennedy, I'd probably vote for them over Jill Stein. But like I said, there's not too many others. But anyway, this is a video I found of her at the Breakfast Club talking about what she was talking about, the media once again. So I wanted you to watch this, because she's talking about how they keep saying it's Russian disinformation and all this crap. And I think they've accused her of being a Russian mouthpiece, because maybe she was doing some interviews on RT or something. You see how they play it? And that's why I started with that Tucker Carlson video. Let's watch Jill Stein now. All right, so that was Jill Stein. And the next one here is I'm going to do a reading when I get home. Well, maybe the mosquitoes aren't too bad now. they were all over me when I got started hiking today, because I'm really out late because I was doing some other things. You know, while I'm talking about that, I wanted to ask you as a viewer, because there's ways that I can improve these videos. The first thing would be to get a gimbal. And I was looking at these gimbals, and they are awesome, man. I mean, they are cool. But my problem is they're expensive as hell. I mean, you're looking at $300, $400, all right? And then my question is, how long? Because unless I know that I can change that battery, that's a $300 paperweight in, what, 4 years maybe? You know, when that battery is no longer good and you can't recharge it. That's the problem I have with it. Same with a remote mic. I could do some action videos with remote mics. You know, walk away from the stand and you could hear me just fine. But the problem, once again, is I don't know how you change out those batteries. So those remote mics might last 3-4 years. I'm not making any money on these videos, so I don't want to make that investment and then have a paperweight in 3 or 4 years. So if anybody can tell me if you can change those batteries out, let me know, man, in a comment, because I don't see how you do it. And then if it would be cool if, well, like, I'll give you another example. APC, uninterrupted power supply, that's what they market, among other products. You can, once your product fails, you can send it in and you get a trade-in for an upgrade, and you can upgrade to a new UPS. Well, if you could do that with the gimbal, you know, 3 years from now when the battery's dead, send it in, they give you a discount on your next gimbal. Now, it's not a whole lot that you get from APC, you know, but it makes it worthwhile to send it in and get a new one. Plus, that's one less item going to the dump. Same with these remote mics, the Roby mics, for example. If I could send them in and get, you know, the latest, you know, 3-year technology from now, if we're all still alive, I mean, I don't know if we will be. Anyway, for me, for a variety of reasons, you for global thermonuclear war. But so I just want to throw that out. So this is, we're going to be doing a reading. I'm going to read this to you, but Putin has expanded his armed forces to 2.4 million in the army, or I guess in the armed forces, period. Good Lord, I mean, we only got about a little over 400,000 on active duty in the United States, and most of those are support personnel. So you think we're going to take on Russia in a conventional war? I mean, oh my God, people are just naive as hell. And of course, the Russians now, they're the best at electronic warfare, at anti-air defense. They got the best nuclear weapons. They got the best tanks. They got the best planes. I mean, I could go on and on and on. They got the best trained soldiers. They're all combat hardened now. We don't have hardly any combat hardened soldiers other than the few that were in Afghanistan. And those are police actions. That's not war. That's not combined arms, you know, with planes overhead, helicopters, drones, dropping grenades, you know, electronic warfare, you know, all combined and of course mechanized forces, tracks, you name it. All right, so the other one I haven't been able to find out, and if you know anything about this, leave me a comment. I got community noted on X because I said that, you know, we had arrested which we did. Okay, the state police arrested that guy. What was his name? I can't remember. Anyway, the shooter on Trump. I'll put it in the comment on the video here. And I thought that we were going to keep him in custody and conduct our own investigation. Well, the state of Florida is conducting its own investigation. But they're saying that he turned that guy over to the FBI. That guy's going to get rabbit holed. We'll never find out anything about him. He'll be in the deep bottom of the ocean within a week. You know, so if he turned him over, and I haven't been able to find out for sure if he got turned over to the FBI. I hope not. I hope DeSantis didn't do that, but somebody let me know. I can't find out for sure. The other one, a big story that I got in the mail, and I'm just going to read it to you. Donald Trump joins millions of Floridians supporting Amendment 3. Now, I talked in a previous video about Amendment 3. It basically legalizes marijuana, but the problem is it legalizes it in public places. So you could be out, you know, walking out of Walmart and you're going to smell marijuana, somebody smoking marijuana right around the corner there, you know, or hell, even outside of like a government building. So I was kind of against it. But I did my homework, and it seems that Trump is saying he's for it, which makes me more inclined now. See how you can change your mind? That's what information does for you, man. That's why banning anything as misinformation should raise the hairs on the back of your neck, huh? And tell you that whoever says that or is trying to do it is a liar. All right, so Trump says taxpayer dollars shouldn't be wasted to arrest people for small amounts of marijuana. I agree. This is the flyer they sent out. It's got to be done in a very concerted, lawful way. And the way they're doing it in Florida, I think, is going to be actually good. It's going to be very good. Well, he says that, but DeSantis came out in a speech against Amendment 3. And he listed his reasons. Now, I don't have that in front of me, so I don't know what DeSantis' argument was against Amendment 3. And then it says, Trump added that the amendment's success would be very good for Florida. He also lauded the use of medical marijuana, saying, I've had doctors telling me it's been absolutely amazing. And that's true. That's true. I know people that have used medical marijuana, and to great benefit. At least they say that you got to take them at their word. They say that it really benefited them. So I've been all for medical marijuana. Hell, I've been all for legalizing marijuana. So anyway, I just wanted to get off on that tangent and say I'm probably going to vote for that. So I think we've covered everything. Oh yeah, this is a video. I forgot about this one. You think that these people in Ukraine are eager to fight the Russians at the front line? Here's a video of them grabbing a guy off the street and stuffing him in a vehicle to take him to the front lines with a week of training. Let's watch that.
Боже, ребята, идите спрячьтесь.
Уроды, блядь! All right, let's get a couple of expos here while we're still outside. I'm standing up because of mosquitoes. I can probably be swatting them. This is OSINT Defender. I'm not sure if this is CIA or not, but anyway, we'll read what they had to say. It said, according to Sky News Arabia, Mossad was able to inject a compound of petanitrol, tetrantrite. I'll put that in. You'd think it's explosives, dude. I never pronounced it this way. We all just called it Petin, P-E-T-N, into the batteries of the new encrypted pagers that Hezbollah began using around February, before they even arrived in the hands of Hezbollah members, allowing them to remotely overheat and detonate the lithium battery within the device. But my question is, okay, allowing them to overheat, why did they all overheat at the same time? It was 12,000 went off, or 1,200. So I'm not sure this is correct, but I'm just trying to get you some more information. Here's Edward Snowden on it. What Israel has just done is, via any method, reckless. They blew up countless numbers of people who were driving, meaning cars out of control, shopping, your children are in a stroller, standing beside him in the checkout line, etc. Indistinguishable from terrorism. As information comes in about the exploding beepers in Lebanon, it seems now more likely than not to be implanted explosives, not a hack. Why? Two consistent, very serious injuries. It was overheated batteries exploding. You'd expect more small fires and misfires. So there you go. So that's Edwards. See how I give you information from both sides. And, you know, I guess I got to put an opinion on there just a little bit. So that's the latest on the batteries. By the way, I did want to comment. I was watching Dan Bongino. And yeah, I'm a big fan of his, but I tell you what, I'm calling him out. He was showing a video of one of these pagers going off and blowing this guy up. And he was going, yeah, another Hezbollah terrorist. You know, we're supposed to feel sorry for this guy. Yeah, you know, cheering and on. I'm not for that against anybody. And if he was a Hezbollah terrorist, then okay, maybe so. But you don't know that for sure. And what about the other 1,199 or whatever people that were injured with these pagers? So let's get to the next tweet. According to Lebanese security sources, the explosive device that resulted in the injuries of thousands in Lebanon today and Syria and the killing of at least 9, including children, were imported 5 months ago and planted with 20 grams of explosive material. This means it was premeditated and pre-planned months ago by Israel. So now Israel hasn't come out and said that they did it. So I showed you the Colonel McGregor video. We won't get into his comments. I did want to read to you what Christopher Como said, since I can't show you his video. Not about apologizing to him. Stop twisting shit. I reached out because the fact that I disagree with and criticize most of what comes out of Trump. The idea that anyone thinks attempts in his life are justified is shameful. If Trump is what is bad, how is the solution to be like him? Chris Como makes an impassioned apology to President Trump. So, like I said, go to my X channel if you want to watch that. So, this is Elon Musk. Those granted asylum become citizens within 5 years, which is just over one presidential election cycle, and then vote overwhelmingly Democrat. This is why so many are being placed in large numbers in Arizona, Wisconsin, Ohio, and other swing states to create permanent one-party rule by the Democrats. So, and this was Bill McCune, per newly released CBP data, nearly 530,000 migrants have flown into the United States and have been placed in the country as part of the Biden administration's controversial CHNV mass parole program. So additionally, approximately 813,000 migrants have scheduled appointments via the CBP One app at ports of entry to be released in the United States. These are lawful pathways created by the Biden administration, and these numbers do not count in Border Patrol data, and they are not legal crossings. Most of the migrants taking part in these programs are paroled into the United States on 2-year humanitarian parole grants, which also allow them to apply to work. Every single ICE source contact I've spoken with has told me the same thing. They do not have the manpower or resources to find and deport such large population of people if they overstay their 2-year grants. As it stands now, ICE's non-detained docket is on track to hit 8 million by the end of the year, and each ICE officer currently manages an average of 7,000 cases. The agency is already tasked with tracking down and removing those with final orders of removal, aggravated felons, getaways, etc. They physically do not have the bodies to track and remove this additional population, and there's been no government agency monitoring parole expiration, according to a recent DHS general report. The bottom line, more than 1 million migrants the Biden administration has allowed in the U.S. via these programs are here to stay, even if they fall out of status and become unlawful in the United States. And Democrats are all for this. I just hope you understand that. So, anything else here? Yeah, this was DDG Politics, and I commented on this earlier. Putin orders expansion of armed forces to 2.4 million, including 1.5 million troops. Putin, by his decree, has increased the authorized strength of the armed forces to 2,389,000 people, including 1.5 million military personnel. The last increase in authorized strength was in December of 2023, when it announced 209,130 people, including 1.32 million military personnel. Alrighty, so that's it for the video. Peace out. Stay free.
Hurrah!